Here we go. We're recording. We're live. I got, nice number in here. Thanks for everyone who joined in here. Pretty excited. This is the launch of the Online Game 4.0 program. Man, this thing's been a long time coming. I had the 2.0 that was on the forum. I see a lot of familiar guys here on the forum or from the forum. So, man, cool to see you guys. It sucked. Sucked that the forum went down, like that it just died. I think almost every forum I'm on died. And that bummed me out. And I tried doing a Facebook group, and that didn't work. And I really tried, and that bummed me out because I was like, man, I miss what we have. We used to all hang out, shoot the shit. So many friendships were developed here. So many guys. I mean, like legit friendships are here. And whoever just hopped in, mute please. And yeah, like I even would go to weddings of students, and there was one where we went on a bachelor party. And I think some of the guys might even be in here right now, but literally almost everyone there except for like a family member was all Bravo Hood guys. And then I was in the wedding, and there's groomsmen who are Bravo Hood guys and stuff. So it's pretty amazing to like create something that ends up having such an impact on people. So Facebook group started it, didn't take off. And I think I finally figured out why. We're all posted under our real names, our real profiles. You don't have that little like wall up, the curtain up where you can post under a name, a fake name or a nickname. And then also not just one click away from everything else about your life. So looking for a while. It was actually another dating coach who recommended Discord. We've been testing this for months. And only recently did I start actually sharing a link that isn't restricted, that it's like wide open and people can just hop in here. And so this literally is already turned into something I could see being way better than the forum, because this is on our first page, like of my phone. I just put the video up on Instagram. This is an app that's on the first page of my phone. I get notified of it all day. And we're messaging back and forth. I'm DMing guys. We're in the main group. We're doing push-up challenge right now. We're all doing a book club, which we got to check in about that later tonight for Way of the Superior Man. And it's like we have a group text going on, and we're able to all stay in touch and help each other out. And then the goal was to try to do something like an online game program, like the forum, the old one on the forum, but even better. And so took a lot of tweaking, a lot of testing, some guys in here that helped me practice it and set it up this last week and go through the final walkthrough. They're in here. Thank you so much. And I can now officially launch it and be like, this is fucking awesome. I'm so proud of this. And you can already, anyone who signs up in there, and once you get activated, you can just scroll up and see how much stuff's already in there. So pretty fucking cool. I'm excited. I'm here to answer any questions you guys have about online dating in general, about anything, almost anything else. I only like giving advice about things I know. And I also kind of teased in the email that went out about the best opener. And I even felt a little cheesy doing that. I was like, all right, what's something cool that can kind of bring some guys in here? And I was thinking about like the best opener, what that is, what's something that's just simple and easy to use that we can just copy and paste and put up on in your notes section of your phone. Just copy and paste it and just send it. But everything I do, there needs to be multiple layers to it. It's not just the best opener, because what makes the best opener the best opener? Like, it just gets them to respond to you. Yeah, that's great. But there's lots of openers that I have that do that. So something I was trying to develop for you guys specifically was a way to test interest. Many of you guys know already my favorite website or online dating site's Bumble. Hot girls there. There's a layer of protection because women have to message guys first. Even though I know so many people online hate Bumble, all these guys in like the red pill group and stuff are like, oh, it gives power to the women. They get to pick you. Fuck, it's not that. It's protecting them from creepers online. And all you got to do is set up a fake women's hot chick profile. And in like 24 hours, you'll see what they fucking deal with. It's crazy. So I like it. I love it. It also lets you know that you have a good profile because they're messaging you first. And so once that happens, you know your profile's dialed in. But how does it work on other dating profiles, other sites that doesn't have that, where you message them first? So I was trying to figure that out for a while. And then I tried something that I've done in field countless times. And it's super simple. You're at the bar, grabbing a drink, go up. You're sitting at your table with your friends. You go up to the bar, you get around, whatever you're doing. You see a woman you think's attractive. I'm in line at the grocery store, anything. You just happen to take a look at them. I look away, I look back, and I just go, wow, I like you. Or even better, very simple, not even saying wow, just I like you. That's it. Simple. Think about the confidence that conveys. To me, it was almost like going back to like being a kid where you have a note and you pass it to someone. Do you like me? Yes or no? I was like, what's the simplest, easiest thing to do? And so I did that. The girl was like, wow, that's so refreshing because everyone else is doing weird stuff, trying so hard, all that. But really being a guy who's really grounded, really confident, really comfortable with who you are, just being able to say that, I like you. And then it gives them the opportunity to look at you and go, am I cool with this guy saying that to me? Now there's no more ambiguity about what's this guy want? What's his purpose? Statement of intent right at the beginning. So did that. Don't usually talk about it too much because a lot of guys, especially when I'm working on one-on-one in field, a lot to learn. That's not going to work for them. But I started using it online. And that I think I hinted at one of the emails that went out where the girl responded, wow, that's a surprisingly good pickup line. And I tried all these variations of it, and I was like, fuck, that's it. And I started having guys use it in the Online Game 3.0 program, and it became a test. Just like the old, you guys remember the Bravo number close, which isn't the best number close there is out there. The best way to number close to get a woman's number is just already be talking and planning a date. And they're like, wow, you're cool. You gotta give me your number. After you've already done the date, you're like, all right, cool. We gotta figure out where to pick you up. We need the logistical stuff. That's why you're already getting the number. You're already going on a date. Now getting the number is just a given. That's the best way. Just going, give me your number. That's the best way to do it. But back in the day, I was getting all these flakes, and I didn't know why. Number flakes. I number close, call them, text them, they wouldn't respond. So I came up with the Bravo number close, which, like I said, isn't technically the best number close there is, but it was very valuable because it was a test. I would go, hey, you're really cool. I've had a great time interacting with you or hanging out with you, talking to you, whatever. We got to figure out a way to keep this going. Do you have any ideas on how we can do that? And it was basically like a softball underhand pitch. However she responded was giving me like all the information I needed. Because at first it sucked. I would hear stuff like, oh, well, yeah, I hang out here a lot on Friday and Saturday nights. I'll see you around. Or if it was a girl that was working somewhere, she's like, oh, yeah, these are my nights on. Or I normally work Monday through Friday. Yeah, I'll see you some other time. Or come on in. That right there tells you how much of a connection you built. So then I was like, fuck. Amateur hour move is if you're having trouble at phone game, and like I'm just pulling out the number out of my ass, step 7. If you're having trouble at step 7, they think it's because you're doing step 7 wrong. But realistically, it's because you messed up on steps 1 through 6. So I took a step back and I was like, all right, I really got to work on this stuff and build more attraction, build more of a connection, more rapport. Did that. Then I started doing the Bravo number close, and hey, we got to figure out a way to stay in contact. And I started getting things like, oh, you're not leaving until you take my phone number. One girl grabbed me by the shirt and said that. And I was like, all right, now I'm doing some good shit. So anyways, same thing with online dating. I like you. It's really, really good because it's a test. If your profile's dialed in, if they like what they see, and that's a 2-part issue because maybe your profile's dialed in, but they just don't like you or like what they see because you're not their type. That's a whole other thing. Then there's nothing you can really do. But they look at your profile, dig your pictures, dig your about me, and they go, wow, I'm cool with this guy talking. I'm cool with that. And they'll respond. So the I like you became such a good opener because it's a way for you guys to test how your profile is performing, especially when you do it on women that you're attracted to, which generally fall into a certain kind of categories or groups. Some guys hit on every girl. That's okay too. But a lot of guys kind of are drawn to certain types of women. So if your profile isn't working and I like you isn't working, I think that's Hank. Can you mute yourself? Bad echo.
Hold on.
The I like you becomes. Come on. Hang up, Hank. Sounds like you're washing your hands.
That's not me.
There you go. Echo's gone. So the I like you becomes so invaluable because it's such a good test on your profile. If it works, you know your profile's dialed in. So that's why it's such a good one. So simple. Type it out. How many letters is that? 4, 3, 1. It's so simple, so easy. And that literally just became my go-to opener. Sometimes I'll do a little variation if their profile is really awesome. Wow, I like you. Wow, you seem awesome. Something like that. But really, just you want to talk about stupid simple, takes seconds, which is really all you should be doing every morning. just a couple of minutes when you wake up, spend some time swiping. At night, spend a few minutes swiping. On the can, spend a few minutes swiping. That's all you should be spending on online dating. The rest of the time during the day, you should be focusing on yourself, focusing on leveling up, cold approach, whatever. The only exception is when you're responding to messages. So that becomes the online dating hole that so many guys fall in. They spend way too much time on it. It should just be supplemental to you already living a great life. Now, there are some guys, though, too, like me, work from home. All your hobbies are surrounded by a lot of guys, not very great life to like meet women. And you can add things to it to meet more. And I've done that. But online dating got so dialed in that it's pretty fucking awesome to not have to leave the house and have dates scheduled throughout the week. And then, like some of you guys know now, I'm in a new relationship, a couple months now. The best, coolest, most awesome relationship I've ever been in, and met her on Bumble. So pretty cool. Anyways, that's the spiel. Anything you guys want to ask? Some of you guys in the groups already were posting some questions. I'll try to get to those too. But anyone here who has anything, I don't know if you guys we'll try it. Just whoever unmutes and gets going can do it. Or maybe if we need to like have it in order, guys can post like me next, or hey, I have a question in the main group, and then I'll call on people and you guys can unmute yourself. But let's give it a go. This is a new thing for me. This is a test. And you don't have to type your question out. You can ask it, but maybe we'll do that in order so we can have some, like I said, some order.
Would this be suitable for a profile bio critique?
Yeah, if you guys want to do that, post screenshots in the main section. Thanks for bringing that up.
Okay.
So if you guys have questions about that, do it. I would probably maybe on your phone, like block out your name. Or if you're going to be posting screenshots of messages from women, make sure there's no identifying information, no pictures of her face, no name, no phone numbers, anything like that. We want to be cool about all this stuff, even though we're still sharing and helping each other out. We're still gentlemen. Okay. Lappin Cakes went, yeah, my question's about when to live chat. Do you want to ask it in here, or do you just want...
I just was getting in line. You can hear me?
Yep, I can hear you loud and clear.
The question is, I guess, two-part. How long if you get a message from a girl, you're probably not going to want to reply right away. You're probably going to want to leave, 20 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, whenever you get around to it, right? When is the time when you would ping them back right away in order to try to get them chatting live through the app, or try to get them on the phone, like more of a live thing rather than leaving a message, getting a message back?
Great question.
Yeah.
Great question. Love
Thanks.
it. Thank you for asking it. So I will answer that now. First off, I don't like that whole mindset of waiting 20 minutes, or I don't want to respond right away and appear too needy. To me, I'm living my life. So if I wake up and I'm still in bed, then I'm messaging, I'm responding, just like text messaging. But I don't want to fucking spend 4 hours in bed messaging a girl because I got shit to do. We're doing a push-up challenge now. I'm cooking every day. I'm cooking real food. I've got work I got to do. Every day I'm on my laptop working. I got a book I'm reading. I've got shit I got to do. There's a farmer's market down the street in the morning. It's only open for certain hours. So I have a life, and I'm always adding new things to it. So once that's established, then I still just live my life, and I shouldn't say, don't pretend that you're busy. Like, just be busy. So when shit comes up, I'm like, oh, hey, I got to hit the farmer's market before it closes. I'll talk to you later. Things like that. What does that convey? I'm not even sub-communicating. I'm just fucking flat out communicating it. Like, I got to go do shit. And then when you tell someone something like, I got to go to the farmer's market, well, think about now what that sub-communicates. Farmer's market, healthy, cool activity to do. I did that last weekend with the girlfriend. Woke up early and went out. So if you're doing that, you could just say that. Or, hey, I got to finish this book. Or, hey, I got to get my workout in. Whatever the excuse is. So that's just what I do. Now, the second part of that is there's some of these apps now that have the phone option built through it. You can like phone call, live chat, things like that. Fuck all that noise. I hate that stuff. I've done it like once or twice. My goal always, and this kind of goes into the question that was asked in the group just before. How long, Valmont asked this, how long are you spending on messages till number close? And what are you saying to get it? So the simplest answer for that is What am I doing for the number close? How do I do it? How long? I do it as fast as possible. It's kind of like the same answer for Kino escalation. Guys asked me that years ago. They're like, well, how do you do that? When do you go for the kiss? When do you go for more? And I'm like, well, you do it as soon as you can. But that's not the complete answer. So for Kino escalation, the answer is as fast as you can, as much as you can, as fast as you can, as dirty as you can, all that without creeping her out. So that's the caveat for that. It's got to be cool. So you got to figure out where that is. And that only comes from experience and reading the situation and knowing and picking up on her feelings and where she's at. So same thing with online dating. I'm getting them off as fast as possible. And once there's a connection going back and forth and you guys are messaging, I used to have little routines or little gambit things where I'd be like, oh man, I'm like on this phone all day, like texting. I'm on my phone all day working, and now I'm texting you. It feels like work. Hey, let's get off this and actually chat. Something like that. Some guys, younger people, are trying to get off this and go to Snapchat. I've had that happen, and that was one of the reasons I set up a Snapchat. And so girls that have their profiles like Instagram and things linked to this, that was an easy way of doing it. I was like, hey, I hate this app. I'm getting overwhelmed on here. Let's go to Snapchat. Or, hey, give me your number. Otherwise, a lot of times I have a Google Voice number too. That's something I highly recommend for all you guys because online, you're throwing your information out there. Google Voice, it's free, app, all that stuff. You can Google it on your own. But I have it set up on my phone. I use Google Voice for work, and I use it for online dating stuff. So I'll even just do that and just throw the number out there. I'm like, hey, you seem cool. Let's text. Or, hey, you seem cool. I'm old school. Here's my number. Let's talk on the phone. And I'll try to look for some screenshots later to post in here. I'm kind of multitasking, so it's a little bit hard right at the second. But I'll look for some screenshots later where me throwing up my phone number, the girl's like, wow, that's so great. I even have to ask her, oh, well, that's so awesome. You just did that. So it really shows like it's sub-communicating that I'm not just some guy on here looking for a pen pal. I'm not just texting for attention, which is what a lot of people do. And again, it's also a test. If I'm throwing that information out there, I'm saying that, then if they're into me, it's going to be a simple yes. Boom, it's done. If they're not into me, well, that's valuable information because my profile or the interaction we've been having hasn't built that much of a connection yet. So they weren't comfortable. So either you got to work on doing that better or you got to look and see what you were doing. And it was kind of pushing them away. There were some screenshots from the other night in the online game section where this came up. Actually, let me pop in there for a second because this is pretty good. And the online game section is nice because with all this stuff, it's private, it's behind a wall. No one else is going to see it. This group right now is technically public, but this is even more private. So I'm scrolling through there. See it in a second. Basically, it was having the thing on the profile, and I think the guy's in here who I was talking to about it, about the do not message me list. And then the girl actually responded to that about like, oh, what about this? So on your profile, you're actually leading, and by saying something like, hey, do not message me if, which I'll put some screenshots of my existing profile in here. And you guys can see it just so you guys can hit the ground running with the profile stuff. But you can see how you say something on your profile. It's basically like fishing. She nibbles at it. She then responded back. And then he didn't even use what was said that she gave back to him. He ended up just laughing at it. So she goes, oh, when you talk about implants, you mean teeth, right? And she put up like a laughing face. And then he just responded back, ha, ha, ha. And then she goes, or rather, and then put up a big smiling face with big teeth. I thought that was clever. And then responding back about, why do you ask? Do you have teeth implants? Like not taking what they have that they're giving you and working with it. If you're making the most of what's happening in the interaction, playing with it, joking about it, moving forward, it's pretty easy to number close. Because you got to think about too, how many times are girls just giving their number out? So if you're not getting the number easily, it's because your page isn't dialed in and you didn't build at least some intrigue, let alone a connection. Does that answer it?
Yeah, thanks. That was great. Thanks, Stephen.
Cool. I think that goes into what Valmont asked. At the moment, for me, it's a rough plan of a date and then something about how I like them and want to talk on the phone rather than the dating app. So to me, old school way of thinking about it is just assume attraction, assume they're into you. But while we're messaging, again, this is going to be hard to convey just in this call today, but this kind of is the stuff that we cover in the phone coaching. But I'm always thinking multiple steps ahead. So with my girlfriend right now, when we were messaging, she had pictures of food up and she had things about food that she liked. And so then we started talking about some food stuff. And then I asked her specific questions to kind of figure out what she's into. Like one way I do it when I'm trying to lock down a date, I might ask something like wine, comma, whiskey, comma, or beer. And then in parentheses, I put good beer. And then I go question mark. So that's basically me asking wine, whiskey, or beer. Like that's going to be our date. So I'll ask something like that. And the girl will go, wine. I go, great. Have you been to Rotten Grapes yet? She goes, no, I haven't. Or, oh, I heard of it. And I'm like, yeah, that's the wine bar. And it's a newer wine bar. It's real cool. They got like a downstairs speakeasy, but just got wine bar and best brunch spot in Phoenix. So let's go there. Let's meet for a drink. So see how I like built up the event. I call it a DHV date. I built up the event. So that's kind of helping me bring it home. But I'm asking like some leading questions that are steering me into that direction. So if I'm talking to someone, I might say sushi's, pizza, or tacos. And then they answer and I'm like, oh, have you been to this sushi place yet? No, I haven't. Or, oh yeah, I love it. Or no, I haven't heard of it. So whatever they give me, I then respond accordingly. And I go, oh, well, you seem really cool. We should go there and grab some sushi. So right there, it's already taken the focus off of, hey, you and me, you don't know me. There's no connection really here. We haven't met in person. Let's you and me meet. Like that can be kind of uncomfortable, obviously. Louis C.K. is a joke about that. Like, what's the number one cause of death for women in the world? Men. Then he goes, what's the number one cause of death for men? Heart disease. So when you start thinking about it, like what women actually have to deal with, and if you have taught women self-defense and those kind of things, you know very, very closely what they have to deal with. Like, I want to try to make it feel as comfortable as possible, especially when they've been dealing with other creepers online. I want to make it as easy as possible, as easy for them to say yes. So worst case scenario, they're going to go out. I'll flat out say this too. I go, hey, let's go out and grab a drink. Worst case scenario, you'll enjoy a delicious beverage and hear some hilarious stories. Best case scenario, we click. And that's a double bind, something I learned from Hypnotica. And it's only good or great that's going to happen. Those are the only two options. That's actually what I said to my ex-girlfriend, who I met on Plenty of Fish. And she responded, wow, I love your straightforward offer. Okay, here's my number. And I didn't even ask for it. I was just like, hey, let's go out. So once you're doing that kind of stuff, the number just falls in your lap. Like, it's just not even a, how do you get the number? It's just, you're getting it. It's just, when are we hanging out? So when you start thinking and moving in that direction, all this stuff gets easier. But you obviously have to know your local area, know the hot spots, know the good spots. I actually planned it out to when I moved back down to Phoenix from Flagstaff. I moved downtown. I have a wine bar downstairs. I have a breakfast spot downstairs in my building. Across the street, I have some restaurants. I have a ramen shop, a wine bar. Like, that's how much planning I put into this stuff. Same thing like I do with all the tactical stuff I'm into. There's a reason I keep gear and weapons and ammo and first aid gear in my car. There's a reason I have that stuff in the house. Like, I'm prepared for these kind of things. That's just the way I think. So I don't like to call it like tactical dating, but that's basically what I did when I got into this stuff. I was like, why amateurs think one step ahead? I'm trying to think 10 steps ahead. So I don't want to ramble too much about that, but I think that kind of answers your question. And knowing the spots that are cool. And ultimately, these are all the spots I'm into. Like, I don't want to go to a restaurant or a taco place that I think sucks. Like, this is the best taco place in Phoenix because of this. It was just voted by the Best of New Times as the best place, or the place that has the best breakfast burrito or the best tacos, whatever it is. Like, I know all that, and I go there and eat it, and I enjoy good food. So to me, like, the date, that's just a given. Like, of course there's gonna be a connection. Of course we're gonna see if we click. Like, that's a given. But let's go out and drink these amazing drinks or have this great food. Like, that then becomes part of it. So it's a whole package. The date has to be a whole package. DHV dating, not just, hey, I like you, you like me, let's go and meet and see if we like. Like, that's not really how it works. I think that helps. There's a couple more pop-ups. Let me try to go through some of these. And I see more guys showing up in here. So again, thanks. Oh, this is pretty full house right now. Thanks for everyone who's hopped in here. All right. Opinions on this bio. Sands, you're still here? Yep, I see you. Okay. Looking for similar interest in music, hobbies, etc. So wrote this. I can go from Slayer to Garth Brooks, from going out for drinks to reading books, from spending a night in the woods to binging Netflix. Swipe right and let's see what clicks. That doesn't sound like anything I would write. I actually really like that. I actually think that's great. Key, and I'd be really curious about this, is your pictures. That's the most important part of a profile. We all know this. It's very simple. This goes into one of the lessons I teach. First thing I teach all my guys is you got to look at the world perspective. So many guys look, but they don't see. They have this all the time. Last Project X we did, one of the guys, he thought, oh, I had this great time with these two girls that he met. It was actually my ex-girlfriend and her sister. They were undercover. And these girls had a great time. Like, oh, they were totally into me. I think he even said he could have banged both of them. And then me and the other coaches who all knew what's up, we all thought. But it turned out he was actually so leaning into them so much and made them so uncomfortable with his body language. Afterwards, when I talked to my ex and her sister, they go, yeah, we would have called security on him if we didn't know he was one. He made us that uncomfortable. So anyone who looked at the situation could have easily have seen what was going on. Him looking at the women, leaning away from them, like the body language, like how do you not see that? But that's a big step. A lot of guys don't see that. So that's the first thing you got to work on. Then the second thing you got to work on is you got to try to look at it from her perspective. Well, online dating should be pretty simple because you guys already do this. When you're looking at profiles, when you're swiping through women, when you're reading their about me, when you see a picture and there's like 4 girls in the picture, and let's say there's 3 of them that don't look that attractive to you, you probably don't even spend the time to investigate to look in deeper and see if the girl is attractive. Usually not. She usually isn't the one that's hot. That's a tactic they use. But you guys have already encountering this. And also think about it when you see like their profile and it's like a thumbnail. It's not the full page, like how that picture looks. So you're already doing that. You're seeing that with your own eyes. So you guys have to apply it to your own page. Think about what she's seeing. So this about me, I think there's some potential here. I don't know if I would open it up the very first sentence about the music you listen to, because again, when you're reading a profile, think of the same thing. If you're looking at a woman's profile and the first sentence is something that you don't think is cool or awesome, and especially if you have lots of options and choices, like that could be all it takes for you to sync or for you to DQ them. So I usually like starting off with a good first sentence. I guess I'll get into that in 1 second. The 2 funniest ones I have I should say maybe best ones I have right now, which I'm just giving away to you guys, but that's fine. You guys are all in here. I'll give it to you. But the pictures are the most important. Pictures worth 1,000 words. So pictures, they have to DHV you. It's not just what you think. This is the biggest problem so many guys have. They look at their picture and they know the story behind the picture. But the girl doesn't know you. She doesn't know what the picture is. She doesn't know where it is. So if someone doesn't know anything about you or anything about the picture, can they look at the picture and figure out what the 1,000 words are? If they can't, then it's not a good DHV picture. Unless it's you just looking really, really hot. That works. But other than that, picture has to be a DHV picture. Demonstrate higher value. One of the very few things I really, really liked from pickup when I got into it, Mystery coming up, or whoever, I think it was Mystery, maybe Style, DHV, DLV, that goes into an old saying I heard from, I believe, Larry Vickers. Some of you guys might see him on YouTube, his channels. It was, this is the better way of saying that. And I already knew this from tactical stuff I did. If an action is not measurably beneficial, it's detrimental. So not only is it good, but it has to be measurably. And if it's not, it's detrimental. It's not good. So when I got into pickup, I heard, oh, if you're not DHVing, you're DLVing. I'm saying it. So anyways, if your pictures aren't DHVing you, they're DLVing, because you could have better pictures there. And the about me has to be congruent with the pictures. They have to like reinforce it. That's the key. So first sentence, I usually want to hit him with a high. Hit him with the high in the Howard Stern guys, but hit him with something high right at the beginning. Start off with a high point. Think about like the game, like Mystery's in there in rehab or in the counseling, and I think he's suicidal, and that's where the book starts off. Like you want to start off with something that hooks them. It's always the way it works with any good story. Okay, so that's important. So what I'm currently using is, well, what I used to use, and this is what I did a couple years ago. I just took it as far as I could. I was like, all right, let me think of the craziest thing. This is how far I test things, and you guys should be testing them too. But I was like, all right, let me think of the craziest thing I could put on my profile. I was like, what's the worst thing that happens to women on this profile? Oh, they get dick pics. I mean, that's the craziest thing. So let me try and come up with something funny about it. So I put up very first sentence of my profile was, stop asking for dick pics. I've never taken one, and I'm not starting to now. I think that's pretty funny. I was like, let's see what happens. It wasn't even like 10 minutes, and I was getting messages going, hey, let me see a picture. Send me a picture of your dick. Hey, I want to see your dick. And I was like, oh, I'm onto something. This is pretty good. Next morning, I had tons of messages, all asking either for pics of my dick, which then tells you what's on the brain, what's on their brain. Or the second type, a lot less often, was, oh my God, wait, are you telling me that women really ask for that? And that's basically now explaining why they're getting dick pics. So it was actually hilarious. I was single. I was like, all right, let me see how far I can take it on my profile. It worked too good. And especially with my pictures and the rest of my about me, it was too effective. I was to a point in my life where I'm like, I'm looking for a real connection. I'm just not just looking to hook up. If I was just looking to hook up, I would still have it on my profile right now. It was insane how good it was working. And that was in Flagstaff, which is a real small town. When I would test it in Houston or Phoenix when I was traveling, maybe I was in Dallas, somewhere in Texas. I was out traveling and hit it. And I got screenshots. You can see like 34 matches and like hours of being on the road, like waiting for me. It was just insane. So I took it down and I put up what I have currently, or what I had currently. And there'll be some screenshots in the group already, but maybe in here I'll post afterwards where the girls respond about it. But I put up 2 asterisk signs and I put currently accepting girlfriend GF applications. So that was my first sentence. And I'm not saying like, send me your application, because that's like a command or anything like that. Like every word has purpose. So I wrote currently, which that denotes a very specific thing. It's time sensitive. Currently, at this moment, for now, there's a time constraint on it. Accepting, so I'm not soliciting, I'm not asking for them, I'm accepting. They have to submit it. Currently accepting girlfriend applications. Put that up, and that worked a lot better. Or let me rewind. That worked. It wasn't as effective in getting messages first, but it worked a lot better with quality over quantity. So right there, that's what I have. I think I'll post a screenshot right now from my phone, and you guys can check it out. But that's what I was working with. Anyways, is this helpful information? Chime in on the group, and whoever's next, ask something.
If anything, you think add a more opening sentence and keep the rest of it, assuming the pictures are dialed in?
Yeah, the pictures are the most important, but I like what you're working with, and it seems like it's congruent. I would play with it, but we got to tweak it. And ultimately, you're going to tweak it and think of better ways. But it's conveying your personality. It's conveying who you are. I know a bit about you, so I like that. Okay. But I just don't think like the first sentence is Slayer, Garth Brooks. Like girl could read it, she's like Slayer. Like instantly, guys who don't know you and don't know what you look like, they'll see that and go, "Oh, I'm putting like a mental image up, like of a Slayer fan."
Yeah.
And see how that comes off as like incongruent with look in your picture in your life.
Yeah.
So that's what you. Let me summarize all this. So the simplest thing to always think about is you want to come off as congruent. If you come off as incongruent, that starts raising red flags. That's when the antennas pop up on women. And women are a lot better at reading that kind of stuff than. So another way of saying someone's incongruent is, oh, there's something off about them, or there's something creepy about them, or there's something about them I can't quite put my finger on. That's what incongruency is. So I always want to try to make everything congruent, because you have to be, you should be. So my pictures are me doing cool shit, public speaking, hiking a glacier in Alaska, riding my motorcycle, martial arts, all that, shooting guns. Like that's my life. So my profile conveys that very simply. The other thing too is when you have a cool life, you think about it. When do you see ads for Lamborghinis or Ferraris? You don't really see commercials and ads in magazines and billboards for them. But you see shit tons of them for Honda and Nissan and Toyota. Because when you're like Lamborghini and Ferrari, you don't have to advertise. So when your shit's dialed in, you actually downplay all your stuff. But it's the guys who aren't like dialed in, don't have all the a cool life leveled up yet. They're the ones who have to really upsell. And it's the same thing with martial arts, tactical. It's all the stolen valor stuff. Any of the guys that are fucking real deal guys, you won't even know it. Very, very hard to even get to talk about. The martial art guys I know, the baddest bad dudes out there, some of the nicest guys I've ever met in the world. The guys who talk about it all the time and are posting pictures of them all the time and their gis and all that, I usually zoom out and I see their white belts and stuff, and I'm like, yep, I had a feeling. So same thing with the profile. And even if you're not there yet, you want to start trying to. I don't like the saying "fake it till you make it," because I don't like faking anything. But there is something to it. So if you're coming across like, it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. if you're acting like a guy who has a cool life and has options and has his shit together, and that's what you're putting out there, and you're doing that every day, well, then eventually you're that guy. So, all right.
Thanks.
Good. Glad you're here too. All right. There's already another question. Someone else is typing. I'd already got some screenshots last night. Let me just post a couple real quick for you guys so you can see something about what I'm talking about a little bit more. All right. Yeah, this is a good one. So right here, I love this Discord. Okay, I'm posting it right now. So this is a good example of a girl messaging me when you have your profile dialed in. So that's what I was just asking. Like when you have a good profile, they reference it, they bring it up. So me having that list of please not message me if you're a bartender, waitress, aspiring actress, Scorpio, if you have implants, if you currently or previously had blue/green/pink hair. And then I go, it never works, ... So me having that, A, filters out those kind of people, but also brings a lot of them to me. Like a bartender in LA, shoot me this giant message on Plenty of Fish about how upset she was or how much of an asshole I am. I'm so judgmental. I'm such a dick. She's like, I'm going through law school right now. The only way for me to afford it and be able to work like a few hours a week and make good money is being a bartender. Man, you're such a dick. You're so judgmental, blah, blah, blah. And I read the whole thing. It was funny. And then I just responded back and I go, wow, that's so awesome that you're doing all that stuff. I go, you must be the exception, but what about all your coworkers? And then she just responded back, good point. So right there, that's how also one of these basic reverse psychologists. So this one, she goes, hey there, cutie, your list of not wants made me laugh. I'm also working on my aim and am considering competitive shooting, ! I have a Sig 9 mil and I'm looking at a Glock 14. Thoughts? So I took a screenshot of this because this is a really good example of how we can fuck shit up. We can fuck it up by doing it. So any of the gun guys in here, what did you notice? Either type it or say it. And everyone's muted. There might be a couple gun guys. So she said she's looking for a Glock 14. Excuse me. She's looking for a Glock 14. So Sans chimed in with it. I'm a pretty good gun guy. I don't know if a Glock 14. Now, I will say, even me being me and knowing shit, before I respond, I would at least Google and make sure this isn't a new model. Because then if I respond back and go, there's no Glock 14, she's like, oh, wait, they just announced it yesterday. Then I'm conveying that, like, I don't know something. So that might be. But also, this is where a lot of guys instantly fall into that, oh, I know something. She's wrong. I'm going to point it out. But would that be beneficial if I go, do you mean Glock 19? Yeah, this is the art of seduction. This is a dance. This should be fun. This should be like a magical moment. She just messaged me first. Do I want to respond by slapping her down and going, dummy, it's a Glock 19. You don't know your shit. No, I want to encourage all this stuff. So I'm like, wow, what made you want to get into competitive shooting or Sig 9 mil? That's awesome. Is it one of the big ones or is it that smaller one? I think it's a 365. A lot of my friends have that. They swear it's their favorite one. And then I could go, or I'm a Glock guy. Obviously, I'm going to vote for Glock. Blah blah blah. But I can start going down the list of things with it, and then I'm already thinking in my head, like she's saying she wants to learn how to shoot. Well, in my head, like I was the director of training at the gun range, which is 5-10 minutes from my house. I was the director of training. I wrote and taught all the advanced classes there before I ever got into pickup stuff. I still get the hook up there. Some of the guys in this group have come out with done firearm training. So already I'm like, oh, that's like right there. But I don't want to blow my wad and, oh, let's go shooting. Yeah, I got the range. I got the hookup. Blah, blah. That's too much. So that's instantly how guys could fuck this up right away. Correcting her or by instantly going all in. It's like playing poker, going all in right now. So that's why this screenshot, I liked it. It kind of, my first gut instinct was basically to correct her. So not good. Good. All right, let me look for one other one. All right, I think this is from Hinge. which is one of the sites I like. So I'll cover that real quick. What are the dating sites I like? Bumble's my favorite. Tinder's good. Depends on your area, though. Tinder seems to be more for hooking up. Plenty of Fish. Depends on the city. Phoenix, really good. Flag, where I used to live, doesn't work at all. OK Cupid, that was really big back in the day. Depends on the area. It's still kind of big. Seems like there's older women on it because they're familiar with it. They used to use it. The only other one that's free that I like was Hinge. And I think originally the whole premise with it was you had to be connected within one contact, like the 6 degrees of 7 bacon. It's like 1 degree on Facebook. So it's called Hinge. But I think they realized that was kind of hurting them, so they opened it up. But I liked the format. It seemed like there was more questions, so you can get a little bit deeper, and it worked out really well. So I like that one too. And this is just responding. So sometimes they have things on their profile that you can respond to. So she asked, how would you rate your spooning skills? So me being me, and because I'm always thinking ahead, I went 9.8 big spoon, 7.4 little. And she went, ha ha ha, I'd love to meet you just for that answer. So you can see how there's a reason I chose the spooning one, and then making it a joke, which is conveying my personality, was the reason I went down that path. All right, I got one other one I definitely wanted to show you. I actually screenshotted this one last night. I'll read it to you guys because it just seems so over the top. She goes, I know you hear this often, as you should, but you're very magnetizing. I'm so digging on your outlook. If anything, let's share some words and appreciate the exchange. The rest, I try not to fixate on it too hard. Maybe I'll post that in the group later. But that one, there's just, my profile's dialed in. That's how you know. When you start getting shit like that, that's how you know you got a good. All right, this is a good one. Okay, post it. And you can see how these messages are all congruent with me. This is my she messages me, hey, what do you think is the best hidden gym in town? So of course, how do I respond? Me. And that's it. Just me, exclamation point. And she went, haha, that's a great answer. Are you from Houston? So this is actually when I was on the road. Especially when you guys are on the road, great time to test. Great time to test. Kind of sucks if you make a good connection because you're not going to see them probably. But great time to test. That's why I like some of the sites like Plenty of Fish and OK Cupid so well. Because when you guys are testing stuff, you're like, let me see if these new pictures work. Let me see if this new About Me works. There's a couple of these that you can actually change your location without having to pay for it. Like Bumble and Tinder, I think you have to pay for it. And I don't like paying for any of that shit. So you can actually just change it to a different city. So when I was in Flag, I would put that I was in Phoenix because it's 2 hours away. And so I could test things here. It was easy. Well, let's say we did hit it off. Well, 2 hour drive's nothing. I'm here all the time. So we could actually make something happen. But big city, lots of people to match. So if you guys are in a smaller town, think of something that maybe is more congruent with you. Like maybe put in like Houston or put in Austin, Los Angeles, New York, something where there's like more people there, and just test it out there, because I don't want to test things in my town, especially if I'm in a small town. It's good to be able to have like a profile that's kind of dialed in, or have it sharpened up before you actually put it up there, because otherwise, awesome woman might see it. Your profile sucks right now. A month from now, it's going to be awesome, but it sucks. And then she swipes left and you don't see her again. Now, there's a way around it. You can actually delete your profile and set up a new one, which there's a funny story about that. I got banned on Bumble because I was kind of trolling a little bit, set up a new one. It worked out great because instantly all these matches that didn't go anywhere now have a new profile. So something else, little insider secret. Once you get your profile dialed in, delete it, make a new one, confirm it with your phone number or different email address or something, and then start over from scratch. So anyways, next question. This is the time. Ask me about anything. Don't be shy. All right, see a couple guys typing. Cool. And the guys that are here that want questions, like, type them up. I'll stay a little bit later. Super likes, always a bad idea. I've had success with them at times. So which one is it that does super likes? Is it Bumble or Tinder? The only time I've seen them, and I'm not paying for it, I don't pay for that stuff. Did I already show the best opener? Yes, I did. It's I like you. That's the best opener. And there's a whole cool story about why it is and how you can use it. Super swipe. So I don't do that. It gives you the choice, like, oh, once a day you can super like someone. I look at those profiles. I think a lot of those profiles are fake, or it's like the ones that are just getting overwhelmed on here. So I think I've super liked someone once and got a response. But I hate it. I hate that it comes down to this. I don't like the term of it's a numbers game, but online dating is a numbers game because you're online and you're getting overwhelmed with all these other matches and likes. So that's why I like it. I seem to always match with a lot of women that just got on it, or they were on it, went on one date, didn't like it, and they're getting ready to hop off. A lot of the women I match with, seems like that's the case. So usually, like, if they're on it for a while, again, if you set up a fake female profile, you'll just see how insane it is. The flip side of that is it being a numbers game. That's like saying poker is a game of luck. It is, but it's also a game of skill. So a professional poker player can win the $1 million pot. You and him could be in the exact same game, playing the exact same cards against the exact same people, and he could win and you could lose. So it all comes down to how you play your hand too. So that's something to think about. With super liking, I don't even mess with it. If it's free, I'll do one just for the hell of it because it's there. And usually it's like just to get rid of the pop because it goes, oh, you have one super like, pick one of the 4. I'll just go, who's the hottest? Boom, done. And then I go back to doing my normal stuff. That's what I do. Yeah, Tinder does it. Did you already show the best opener? Great. Super swipe on Bumble. Yep. Status. You mentioned Phoenix was 2 hours away. How'd you handle logistics? Well, I'm just down here a lot, so I would say that. That really is how it works because if you're matching with someone that you're not close to, that's kind of being dishonest. So I'm always in Phoenix. I was visiting family. I was flying out of town. I'm training, going to the range. We did classes here. This is where I did one-on-one. So I was down here quite a bit. So for me to match wasn't an issue because I was like, oh, I must have matched you when I was down there. Like I'm down there all the time. So it's a nothing issue. I did have people drive, or not, I keep saying people. I did have women drive quite a distance to come see me. And that's very flattering. It's very nice. But that's it. If there's a big enough connection, again, think about it from the opposite perspective. If any of you guys really, really, really found a super into, she seems super cool, you're super physically attracted to her, and you guys wanted to hang out, and she lived 2 hours away, like, would driving 2 hours be a break it issue for you guys? No. So it's the same thing. Attraction is not a choice. And when there's enough attraction, people will step up. So not an issue. Dental implants was super like Bravo. No, it was not. I will not let that fly. But joking about it afterwards, anytime anyone gives me something, I'm always, that's the benefit of online dating. Like, I'm pretty quick-witted. Out in field, when I got into this stuff, when I first got divorced, some of you guys maybe don't know my story, but I was married when I was really young. Like, I was ready to dating and all this bullshit back then when I was 23. Baby on the way. We had a house, happily ever after, right around the corner. Miscarriage. Things got really, really bad. And then she wanted a divorce right before my birthday. Didn't even make it 1 year. Had to sell the house. Like, it sucked. So having to go out and start dating again, oh man, it sucked. I deleted all those files from my brain. So I just started getting into self-help, self-improvement anyways, because this is just something I want to be better at, pull up. And also I just decided that, like, talking to women, going out and cold approaching, social anxiety was something I struggled with. So I was already working on this before I'd ever heard of the game. Then I heard of it, read it in 3 days, went out on day 1 and was trying the stuff. And the biggest thing is I didn't like a lot of the stuff from the book. It didn't resonate with me. A lot of this indirect stuff, all these the pickup lines and who lies more and is this gay and blah. I was like, that shit. But I understood, like, the formula behind it, and I started applying it instantly to my life. But I was able to go out 3 or 4 nights a week for like a year because we had sold our house, ended up making all this money because right before the bubble popped. And so I was able to really get out and practice. And then doing this as my job for years and years, like, you got to be able to do it on command. So I got pretty good at this stuff. So not everyone has that opportunity, or not everyone is that quick-witted or has that much experience in field, in real life. So online dating is so great for so many of us because it gives you that extra moment to think about it. And you're like, all right, this sounds good, but let me think about it. I don't want to come off as like a little puppy just jumping right at her into her arms. Slow down for a second. Let me take a step back. Let me come up with something better. Like, that's the beauty of this. But don't take too long because you want to strike while the iron's hot. But also remember, iron stays hot for more than 1 second. So you have a couple seconds before you can hit it, before you have to reheat it up. So anyways, just something to think about. That's why online game, one of the benefits of it. But like I said, on the sales page that I just put up, which in here, I don't know if you guys read it, but sales page is live. It's on the website for Online Game 4.0. Because there might be some hiccups when this program launches. I don't think there will be, but just if there is or anything, anyone who signs up today, I'm giving them the same deal I gave the guys last week that were my beta testers. So anyone who signs up this week will get, if they stand for the standard program, they get a free coaching call. Coaching call with me is $200 for 1 hour. So $50, $49.99 for one call. That's a smoking deal. Everyone right there, I mean, you should probably just take that because that's a smoking deal. But the higher level, the VIP level, is $4.99 a month, and it's 4 coaching call hours. But anyone who signs up today, I throw in 2 more. Especially on our first or second call, like we could go 2 hours easy. So just for the first month, anyone who signs up today, anyone who get the PayPal to me tonight before midnight, I'll throw it in. But you guys don't have to sign up. It's just stay in here. Like, there's great advice in the main section too. So milk this for everything you can. But just FYI, if you guys want it, it's there. But that's really where it starts going into the profile and the benefit of this program. Because as long as I'm not training or sleeping or with my girlfriend busy, or maybe in the middle of cooking, like, this is my job, this is my life. So even if you guys are like, hey, real quick, here's a screenshot. What should I say? I was thinking about saying this. Like, you guys have access to me potentially within seconds. Some of the guys in here can vouch for it within seconds, getting feedback from me. So that's the great thing with online dating. You have an extra moment or two. And if you get the program, you literally have me helping you out. So FY, that's the plug. Dental implants with Super Like Bravo. Okay, how's this profile bio? Kind of an asshole. Played ball and coached a while. Needed a change, so I learned how to make apps. But my true passion is writing short bios. Okay, for the guys who don't know, I'm kind of an asshole. That was my old subject line, profile headline from Plenty of Fish back in the Online Game 2.0 program, which is pinned right now in the Online Game 4.0 section, because that's a lot of that stuff is still solid. And I think it's that program still, the speech is still from the 21 convention. I think it's still on YouTube, the whole thing. So if you guys are just listening to this, go on YouTube, look it up. Tons of gold there. It's still, a lot of it's still relevant. Kind of an asshole. That was congruent with me back then. I still would joke about that stuff. And when I was actually at Style Life and I did this, that was like where Neil came up later and he's like, wow, that's the best online dating stuff I've ever seen. That's the funniest thing. He brought up the point there where it goes, I'm kind of an asshole. You're not saying I'm an asshole. I'm kind of an asshole. That totally changes the vibe. And then, like, right afterwards, he was like, man, when people ask me to come speak at their events, I'm going to have you come and speak at their events because this is the best thing ever. That was confirmation to me. And I was like, man, this online dating stuff, I'm pretty good at it. Obviously, I know that all these years later, especially when I've seen what the other guys are. But this headline, that part was the part that kind of, any of the guys that were there at that conference saw it. It was pretty cool. So that's congruent with me back then. My pictures were a lot cockier. That's good. Played ball and coached a while. Make sure the pictures are congruent with that. But then you start leaving like an open loop of what happened. How come you're not doing that anymore? That sounds really cool. It's almost like someone saying, oh, I used to be a gymnast. I was a gymnast for a while, or I used to work out for a while. So if you still did it, it would be gold. But you're basically conveying, oh, I used to do something cool, but I don't do that anymore. So is that really the hottest thing you could hit them with right at the beginning? Maybe not. Needed a change, so I learned how to make apps. Good, but that could be boring. So I would maybe make something slightly funnier and cockier and joking around and smart-assy about the app or something like that. But my true passion is writing short bios for myself. Poop. Yeah, I don't like that. That's funny, but you're just instantly like going like, I'm quitting and this is a little joke. And ultimately what you're sub-communicating on your profile is, oh, I'm trying to be like clever. And if they think it's funny, great. But I'd rather do something funny than try to like actually do something that's solid, that's funny, than try to like insinuate something that's funny. That makes okay. Sans, last question. Do you have a go-to cut and paste for re-engaging a dead Bumble Tinder engagement? Yes, I do. So the best one I found, again, simple shit. The best one I found was just too bad. TOOBAD ... That's it. I just typed it in. That's it. Because I don't want to over invest. I don't want to spend too much time and effort and energy. If she ghosted on me, like sometimes they could lose. I mean, same thing I've done. You lose track of everyone, or you got busy and you haven't lost, or it slipped your mind. Because really, you don't know this person yet. She doesn't know you yet. Like we all get emotionally invested in this chick because of a couple messages, and we build something up in our head. We're living in the future about it. We build it up in our head, and then we get butthurt when things don't work out. You shouldn't be that emotionally attached to it. Now, if you're going on dates and this is someone you're opening up to and there's a connection forming, and then something like that happens, yeah, then you can actually have an emotional reaction. But if it's just online, when that stuff happens to me, I'm just like, damn it. Even some girls I was going on some dates with, and then it fizzled out. And I was like, damn it, that sucks. Like, I was feeling a cool thing here. Man, that bums me out. That's it. That's all I gave it. That's all the real estate I gave it. So when that kind of happens here, just me saying too bad, that's me basically just assuming like, oh, too bad. Like maybe she got busy. Nothing big. No, I'm not pissed. I'm not reactive like some guys do it. Oh, yeah, you blew me off. Don't do any of that bullshit. Just too bad, ... And then what happened was sometimes there would be a general response. Oh, my God, I'm so sorry. Blah, blah, blah. This came up. Sometimes they'd even respond, oh, my God, I'm so sorry. This came up. Here, let's make sure it doesn't happen again. And they'd offer me their number. But then even a couple times that, the same thing would happen. But when they usually offer your number, that's a good sign. And then they didn't. Other times they'd be like, oh, I'm so sorry I got busy, or oh, I met someone else here. And that's usually what it is. They met someone else they're more, just like we do. So she's not invested in me. We don't know each other. They don't owe me anything. So it's just simple I got 20 guys I was talking to. These 3 sounded cool. Oh, this guy sounded even cooler. Everyone else gets either put on the back burner or just forgotten about. That's normal. When you have lots of women messaging you, same shit fucking happens. So do that. Too bad. Simple, easy. And sometimes they'll either, oh, hey, I got busy, sorry, or won't even respond. And then if that goes through a couple days, if you want, you can delete it. But even to me, that's reactive. I just don't even do that. Like, it's just there. I can see it. I don't want to rematch with someone later or anything like that. So I just leave it. It's still there. And then that way I know later, oh, they didn't respond. But short answer, too bad. Simple and easy. That's part of the chat. He wasn't saying that to you. Can't hear. Speak connection. Okay. Yeah, no dates yet. Can't hear. I don't know. Okay, so they was telling me that. Okay, some small talk back and forth. Now I'm following. So, anyways, anything else? Technically already over on time, but there's some guys here. So if anyone wants to ask anything, and I'm going to unmute. There's a couple guys I ended up muting. If anyone has any questions, who's still here, go for it. And thanks for showing up. And don't be a stranger. Oh, one quick thing to add. A lot of guys were making comments before about Discord because it gives you a lot of notifications, a lot of chimes on your phone and stuff like that. Like I'm on my laptop, it's super simple. On your phone, it's super simple. You just click up like on where it says Bravo Hood, and where it says the Bravo Hood, there's like 3 dots next to it, and then you click on notification setting. So super simple, super easy. Adjust them as you want. You guys don't have to get overwhelmed. I understand what it's like. I have this thing on for everything because I got to keep an eye on it. We had a troll in here the other night, which was kind of funny too. So I got to keep an eye on these. But you guys don't have to. So just turn off notifications. Either if I tag everyone, there's a notification for everyone, or if I tag your name or someone else tags your name, then you'll get an alert, like when you're specifically mentioned. But yeah, don't do that. And then the other thing is some of the guys feel like, oh, I got too far behind, and then I don't respond or I don't want to log in because they're so behind on this stuff. Yeah, I get that too, like on other ones. But if it's important, it'll still be kind of brought up. And then I'm just like, well, I'm here now. So let me just scroll up for 5 or 6. Let me read, and then I'll just answer or something. So don't feel that way. Like, this thing's a pretty cool thing. Let's all milk it for everything we can, and let's all support each other. I mean, shit, just seeing you guys do the push-up check-ins the other night, I'd eaten dinner, had a couple beers, going to bed. I was like, fuck, I didn't do my push-ups. But I saw 4 guys had checked in earlier that night doing their push-ups. So I was like, all right, man, I got to do it. So I did them. So if it helps me, it'll probably help you guys too. Have them. Okay, in general, what DHV picks do you recommend to start off with if you don't have the right ones yet? Okay, great question. And something I actually wanted to touch upon. So great. So first off, DHV pictures. Hard to get them. I understand that. I have pictures, years ago, I did some really epic shit. Used to train with a private contract, or used to work for a private contracting company. Trained some pretty fucking epic dudes. I helped out with some like surefire low light classes and stuff out in California. So doing some cool shit. Don't have pictures of any of that stuff. I was like, oh, I don't want to be the guy asking for pictures. And this is also before we all had smartphones and stuff like today. But yeah, I'm really bummed out. I don't have a lot of those pictures. I wish I did. So first thing now, like starting today, when you guys are doing cool shit, start getting pictures. Formula for that, the way to think about that, best way I found, is I do that for other people first. Like if I'm out with my friends, or if I'm at an event, or if I'm at a martial arts seminar, a gun class, something like that, and I see someone doing something that looks cool, I'll take a picture. I'll take several pictures. Don't just take one, take several, because a lot of times their eyes are closed or their mouth's weird, something's blurry. So take a few. Then what I would do is I'd go up to them later. I'm like, hey, like I got some good pictures of you, and give it to them. Like, who's not going to appreciate that? So again, being a good positive guy, putting positivity out there, doing cool shit for other people, it's a good way to live. So I do that, give it to other people. They're like, oh, thanks. Hey, send it to me. Hey, text it to me. Facebook it to me. Something. I've seen people that there's more in-depth stories of this, but I don't want to publicly share all of it. So the short version is pictures I've taken of people, I see them posting on their Facebook. I see them using as like their default pictures. I see them using on their post when they're doing like a feel-good post about something cool. And I see it's a picture, like they're using my picture or one of the pictures I took in a collage of pictures. That's pretty cool. So do that for other people. Then it's a lot easier because a lot of times they'll just do the same. You don't even have to ask. They'll just do it back to you. But if you do want to ask them, it's a lot easier when you're like, hey, I got a cool picture of you doing like the obstacle course, or you doing this, or you shooting, whatever. And then they're like, wow, that's awesome. Thanks. And I'm like, hey, do you mind snapping one of me? A lot easier to get them to do it. Well, they'll probably do it anyways if you just ask. That's the next level. Let's just fucking ask people. But I like offering something first, because if you just try to take value from people and don't offer anything back, by definition, that's like a parasitic relationship. Mosquitoes, tapeworms, ticks, all that stuff. I don't want to get too negative, but what do we usually do to mosquitoes? So I don't like any form of parasitic relationship. There always has to be value. So I like offering value first. So offer value, then it's easier to ask something. So, hey, here's a cool picture of you. Hey, do you mind taking one of me real quick? Or I'm getting ready to run through it. Can you snap some of me? Then I've even done it where I'll like flat out, I look at the pictures later. I'm like, oh, these aren't that good. And I ask them to retake them or ask someone else to do it. I've done that in a few seminars where like one day I look at the pictures. Oh, this one sucks. This one makes me look like I have a big fat head and big belly roll. I'm not going to post this picture. So I asked someone the next day, 2-day seminar, hey, can you take a picture of us? So don't be shy. It might be a little awkward, but I guarantee you a day, a week, a month. So that's number one. Start getting DHV pictures. Second part of that is, what if you don't have DHVs in your life yet? That's the harder part, because that's like the 2 programs. Because if you're already a guy walking the walk, now I just gotta help you figure out how to talk the talk. That's easy. But if you're not walking the walk yet, that's where it's more work. And it's awesome. Like me going through my journey and leveling stuff, some of the greatest memories I have in my life. It was frustrating at times. It was challenging at times, but it was fucking awesome. So you guys going through that now, it's pretty cool. Happy to help you. But DHVing, adding DHVs to your life. You can really think about it. There's lists. You can just Google DHVs and all. Simplest way, I've never heard anyone else explain this, is if you really break it down to like the basic level. Like if went back in time, if you go to a different country right now, if you got kidnapped by someone from another country and forced to work for them, or you're like in like the Amazon jungle tribe and someone else was in another tribe and they kidnapped you, force you to work for them. Like, what would be the DHVs? And actually, if everyone can chime in in Discord, it's in the main room. Like, take a guess on a couple of these. Like, because this is a good thinking drill too. What would be some jobs or some skills that you have that would be like universal DHVs? That no matter what, no matter where, universal DHVs. Some of you guys have already heard this talk. Don't spoil it then, but a couple guys chime in. Oh, there's two right there, medicine man and cook. So who else has any other ideas? Chime in. Those are good ones. Those are really good ones. Anyone else? Good. I see Sans typing. Science did the last one. And if anyone else throws in, like, this is a really good thinking drill because it shows you where you're thinking. And then you guys will. One of the things I don't like is when guys just ask for help. What should I do here? What should I do here? Once you get in the online game program, or even just in the main section, I'm always trying to get guys. I'm like, what do you think? Like, what would you do? Like, what should I say to this girl? What do you think? Because I want to see where you're at. And then a lot of times you might be real close to the answer already. And then I give you a little tweak, one little connection, and boom, you got it. And that's a way more valuable way of learning than just me giving you the answer. Fighting, soldiering, carpentry, hunter. Yep. I like exactly where you're going. Architect. Good answer. Not first level, but stuff like that's the second level. Love that he put that there. Creating art, music. Perfect. Thanks. Exactly what I was looking for. You guys nailed all that. So think about it. Zombie apocalypse. Shit hits the fan. Can't go anywhere. Life is like, it's dangerous. Or just like old school. Back in the day. Or third world, in the jungle, whatever. Like, what's the stuff that no matter what, you guys need to just survive? Well, a medicine man, another way of saying that's like a healer. And then if we broke that down into multiple categories, what would a healer be? Well, medicine, spiritual, mental, like it could be all those things. That's something that everywhere around the world, a healer is basically invaluable. Cook, well, everyone needs to eat, right? So anyone that can make food taste better, priceless. That one really clicked in my head. I work with a lot of military guys, and I heard stories about some of the guys that were the guys that would tweak the food from the MREs and do some crazy stuff with it. And we're joking about it. There's actually a YouTube channel, Fresh Out, with Big Hurt, big funny black guy, who's telling all these great stories about when he was in jail and stuff. And he actually does like a prison cooking show, and they have some really funny, interesting little stories about stuff like the guy making pizzas and how they would have to figure out how to do it and wrap it in saran wrap, and they'd boil it and stuff and sneak it out, and how they'd charge people. So anyways, food. Everyone has to eat. So if you can make food taste better, that's huge. Think about all the people that now they're celebrity chefs and Instagram and all that. Like, that's such a great DHV. All right. A lot of people are putting answers in here. I love it. Protection, martial arts, firearms, Colt. Yes. So a simple way of like breaking that down, warrior. So someone that keeps the people safe, that protects their family, protects the tribe, protects the village, protects the country, protects the city. Like any of that stuff, that's going to be. If you can't protect yourselves, someone else is going to come in and take all your shit. And then the warrior has to go out and deal and handle some business. And a lot of times he comes back, maybe he doesn't come back, or he come back and he's injured. So the healer helps him. So everyone has to eat. Those kind of areas. So if you really break it down, like those are kind of like the root DHVs. So anything having to do with any of that stuff, usually a solid DHV. Now there's like the next level of stuff. So let's say we all zombie apocalypse. We all start our own town, our own little city here in downtown Phoenix. And some of you guys are cooks, some of you guys are healers, some of you guys are warriors. We're protecting everyone. We got food. We're able to live, like structures. That's all something we need to be able to have. So architecture. But at the beginning, it could just be whatever's here. But then when you eventually got to start building things. So that's a great skill. Blacksmith. That then becomes like secondary ones that help other people in other areas. And then there's one other one that you guys wrote. Protector, electrician, artist. Okay, that's it. Creating art, musician. So people going off to war, singing battle hymns, telling stories, singing instruments, bagpipes, all that stuff, drums. Yeah, all that stuff plays a big part of it. But if we kind of break it down into like our town, only when certain needs are met, food's taken care of, water's taken care of, medical, security, when all that stuff's kind of taken care of, that's when artistic stuff starts coming back. Because if we're worried about being eaten every day by zombies or whatever, like we really can't be doing plays and writing music and singing songs and all that kind of stuff. You really don't have that luxury yet. So once certain needs are met, then there's the secondary ones that come into play. And then after those are met, then there's tertiary ones. So what I like to tell all my guys is really think about it, break it down like what you guys are doing and how that could fit into one of those categories. And the other thing is, like me being a firearms instructor, I was on a Dayton Flagstaff. A lot of liberals up there. I realized it was time for me to move. I'm not going to get political or anything on this, but you obviously want to be around people, and you like people who have similar beliefs and values. So they were protesting it on my birthday to make the city a sanctuary city and a sanctuary college. And I was like, all right, I was on the fence about leaving. This is a sign from the universe. Time to leave Flagstaff. So I moved back down to Phoenix. So fucking glad I did. Anyways, I went on a date with a girl there. There's a lot of liberals up there. It's the most liberal part of Arizona. Sedona has all like the hippies and the crystal crunchers. Flag has like a lot of liberals. Hugging a girl, getting a little close. She feels my hip and she goes, oh, wait, I felt your gun. And, oh, wait, I just felt, oh, that's your gun. Oh, you're a firearms instructor. And I could tell it made her uncomfortable. Which then in my head, I'm like, F her, I'm done with this, next. So I was like, oh, I'll be honest now. And I'm honest. I'm honest to a fault. I always tell girls I'm dating this. Don't ask me if those jeans make you look fat, if you don't want the right answer, if the truthful answer. So she hugged me. We're getting a little close. Felt this. She goes, oh, I felt your gun. And I go, actually, that was my knife. That wasn't my gun. She's like, wait, oh, I thought you carried a gun. I go, I'm carrying one of those too. But that was my knife you felt. That didn't go over well. That instantly ruined the magic, which I was 100% fine with. I knew that's where it was going. And yeah, so I had to make a decision right there. But certain people, certain values, you want to start trying to think about how you can find connections in these areas, because soldier, warrior, tactical martial arts, that's a huge DHV for people. Their value systems, especially unfortunately right now, a lot of people don't see that as a DHV. They're actually against it. They'll actually really not like me because I'm in, which to me, I love. Thank you for letting me know that you're not worth my time. Because really, going back to my profile, I'm not out here trying to pick up chicks. What a lame way to live. The only guys who brag about that and think that's cool are high school locker room when you're bragging about it to other guys who can't do it. Then it's something cool. But really, when you're a cool squared away guy, you don't brag about that shit. You're just living a cool life. But I'm currently accepting applications for my girlfriend, for girlfriend positions. So that's true. So when I find out something like that, years ago, I was trying to be like a social chameleon and fit in everywhere. And that's a great skill to have. But nowadays, I'm unapologetically me. So if someone has a problem with that, that's their problem. It's not my problem. So that's my mindset now. So anyways, when you start putting this out there, just food for thought, it might really turn a lot of people off, certain DHVs. But the ones who like them and appreciate them, it's going to bring them in. So basically just like how it works with politics and everything. So love that you guys put those answers up. All the answers were good. All those were DHVs. Nothing negative. Don't feel bad about anything. All solid answers. But you can see how some are like even more powerful. Like someone who's really good at photography, that's great. And if someone's into that, that could be the fucking magical like ingredient that's going to be the thing that she's going to fall in love with. Oh my God, I love it. You do exactly. Well, here's some of your work. That's exactly the stuff I like. Boom. That's the glue that connects it. But someone who's not really into photography or something, and you're like, oh, I do a certain type of photography, they don't care. So that's also how that kind of stuff works. When you put it out there, you have to be willing to, or ready to have people not like it or not appreciate it. But root level DHVs, if you need help with it, think about it that way. Come at it from. And then unfortunately, some of the guys I'm working with, they're like, yeah, I don't have any. I work a shitty job. I'm not happy. I'm not in good shape. I've never trained. I don't know how to protect myself or my loved ones. I eat fast food all the time. I don't know how to cook. Like I don't have any cool hobbies. And then I'm like, all right, let's get working. Now we know where we're going to start. And that's where the phone coaching comes in. And each week we do weekly assignments. And I start helping them try to figure out some DHVs and get into it. And I'm pretty proud. Lots of guys, even guys in here, have now started martial arts, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, a lot of other cool things. Some guys in here own the knife that I carry and carry it all the time, and flashlights and all this cool shit. So yeah, we can work on it. But you need to want it. And then understand that it's going to take some work. It doesn't just happen overnight. If this stuff was easy, everyone would have it. So essentially, you're looking at your contribution to society at kind of a primal level. That's a good way of thinking about it. That would be a good way, because if it's a DHV, thinking about it from this whole perspective, it has to be things that that's gonna resonate with them, that they're gonna. Got to run. Great format. Thanks for letting me in, sharing the knowledge. Sans, glad you're here. I'll see you online on the other side. Anyways, I saw some pictures here. I think there was a couple. Yeah, we're already 20 minutes over. I'll do a quick scan of it, and then I got to get going. I got coaching calls after this. I got blocks of them, and I got class tonight. So I'll try to do more of these in the future for you guys. But Sunday at this time is going to be the go-to online dating program coaching call for everyone. So Red Hot Haze, yeah, you're great. Your first picture is great. Playing guitar, you look cool. But same thing we talked about earlier in this call, which hopefully it'll be up and listen to it. But the first sentence, always down for a good roast, both edible and audible. Actually, that's kind of good, but you're instantly putting something out there about what you're about. We'll talk about Greek myth influence in Star Wars, then sports analysis. So I see what you're getting at there. If you're doing that, make sure the pictures are congruent, because we're already over on time. Like your second picture, a guy's doing a weird hover hand kind of thing on you. Not a good picture of you. Two truths and a lie. I met Magic Johnson. People on fire for a living. I played at the Whiskey A Go. That needs to get better. Like, what Magic Johnson? How's that? Like, those should all be DHVs, even if one of them's not. Picture of you with the owl. Yeah, what's the DHV there? Now I'm just going to get real short with the stuff. Like, what's the DHV there? You stood next to a bird. Like, I have a picture of me on my Instagram page of a jiu-jitsu black belt that I trained with up in Flag, who is a falconer and trains them, and he had one of his birds there, and I had it on my hand, and that was cool. But even that, I just put it up for something cool. Like, it's not a DHV photo that I would use on my profile, which even that, there's jiu-jitsu mats, there's wrestling mats and stuff in the background. Like, there is a story with that picture, whereas you, looks like it's a fundraiser gala kind of thing, and there's an owl there. And I love owls, but yeah, that's not really a DHV. Next picture of you kind of smiling next to 3252. Yeah, no context, don't know what it is. Not a horrible picture of you, but no DHV. So you're talking about some other stuff in your profile, and then the pictures don't convey it. Then another picture of you playing guitar. That's good, but you basically like kind of a one-trick pony now, because it's just guitar. I like, some guys ask about that link into their Instagram page. I like that. I do that. I did it, I should say. But if you're doing that, think a couple steps ahead, because they're going to think they're clever and they're smart when they figure out who you are and look you up on Instagram. So if they're going to do that, which I have to assume they will, have your pictures on Instagram already also be DHV. So if they think they're being clever, boom, they find it. It just makes you look more awesome. Gotta run. Okay, cool. I see guys saying goodbye. I think it's time for me to head out too. Guys who hopped in here, this was great. Like I said, hopefully this audio is going to go, and I'll try to upload it. I'll do it like, it's going to take a while to render and stuff, but it should be up, and the link will be in the main room as long as it works by tonight is the plan. So guys who are here, thank you so much. Guys who already bought the program, damn, thanks guys. Like I said at the bottom of that page, I love what I do. If you love what you do, life, like, this is what I love. I know how shitty life can be when you're single and not by choice. Like, I know firsthand how shitty that can be. And I know how amazing learning this stuff is, and how much it's improved my life, how cool it is, like the options I have, how much cool shit I can do. You guys see it. So it's amazing. It transformed my life. So I love helping other people. This is my calling in life. And the way that some of the guys know some of the stuff, things I went through, pretty rough story. I can compare notes with people, and I've never lost really a woe is me contest where we really put it all out there. So somehow letting all this negative shit that I went through, like, now turn into lessons and positives, and now I get to help it transform my life, but now I get to help other people, literally priceless. And the guys that support me and have been with me through years, like supporting me, helping me out, and doing this and learning from me. Thank you guys so much. And you guys are the reason I do this, and the reason I'm able to do this as my career. So huge thanks to everyone who supports this. And I can't wait to check in and hear from you guys all soon, and all of us to be just kicking ass on all this online dating. So And also remember, if I help you with this and you guys get married or engaged, let me know. I do my best to get out to all of them. All right, guys, I'm heading out. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks, bro.
I heard a few, but thanks, guys.